Okay, we are started new chapter like life cycle costing, and last lecture we have completed the definition part and the further three things. Is it right? Definition we have completed the initial cost, operation and maintenance cost, and disposal cost. That is also we have completed. I think this is also we have completed the five stages. Then purpose of lifestyle LCC. That is life cycle costing. First purpose is chosen between two or more assets. Then second thing, determine the assets benefit and create accurate budget. So for this, we will take one example and then we will go to highlighting this. So this is actually formula. What is the total life cycle cost? This is the formula for LCC calculation. What is meant by LCC? LCC, that life cycle cost is equal to C plus PV recurring minus PV residual value. Okay, so what is this residual value? Or what is this C? So at lower side, it is given in proper way that LCC is the life cycle cost. C is the year zero construction cost. That is hard and soft cost. Okay, so C is the years. Okay, then PV recurring. What do you mean by PV recurring? Is the present value of all recurring cost, that is utility, maintenance, replacement, and services. All recurring costs. So if you go a little bit deep, so there are two types of costs are there. One is called recurring cost and another thing is non-recurring cost. Okay. So what do you mean by recurring and non-recurring? What do you mean by recurring and non-recurring? If we can understand this difference, it is very simple. So recurring cost means such a cost which can be required to pay after certain time of period. Means for example, if you are purchasing one of the software, okay, then for that software there are two costs. One is called one-time cost, that is purchase cost, and another is the per year subscription cost, that license cost. So whatever that one-time cost is there, that purchase cost, it is called non-recurring cost. That non-recurring cost is only one time. Suppose you are purchasing any of the machine, okay, then that machine cost at initial is called a recurring cost. Sorry, non-recurring cost. The purchase cost of that machine is called non-recurring cost because that is only one time. And what is the recurring cost then in that case? The things which are required to purchase again and again. So suppose I have given example of one of the software. So you have purchased one software at initially at suppose 2 lakh rupees. So 2 lakh is the non-recurring cost, that purchase cost of the software. But every year you required to license it. Okay, whatever the license agreement is there, that is for only 1 year. So every year you are to required to renew that license, and that renewal of license, that cost is suppose 10,000 rupees. That 10,000 is recurring cost, and whatever the software purchase is there, that 2 lakh rupees software, that is non-recurring cost. If you take the example of some construction equipment, suppose you are purchasing dumper or JCB, whatever the purchasing cost of that dumper or JCB is there, it is non-recurring cost. But after that, whatever the diesel it requires, whatever oil it requires, whatever salary for that we can say driver, so that all costs are called recurring cost. So that PV recurring is present value of all recurring cost, that is utilities, maintenance, replacement and services. So if JCB you require to repair after 1 year, every 1 year maintenance is there, that is recurring cost. But whatever the initial JCB cost is there at purchase cost, that is not recurring cost. Okay, and PV residual value is present value of residual value at the end of the study life. So residual value means at the end of that particular life, what is that value is there, that is called residual cost. So here LCC is C, that is the years construction cost in years plus PV recurring, that is today's all recurring cost, utilities, maybe driver payment, driver maintenance, per year maintenance, replacement, if you want to replace it, what is the reselling cost of that JCB, and services. So all these costs are coming under a recurring category. Okay, so this is the I can say formula for life cycle cost. So there are different types are there in this particular life cycle cost. So we will go to that particular side. So there are two types of I can say part are there. One is called the particular product life cycle and project life cycle. Okay, so both we are going to deal with this today. So first here it is taken as product life cycle cost and project life cycle cost. Okay, so there are two categories are there, and both categories may be mentioned as PLCC. Okay, PLCC, project and product. So these things are there. Okay, so we are going for this. So product life cycle cost is defined as total cost throughout its life, including planning, designing, developing, operating, and maintaining, and any other cost directly attributed to owning using the asset. So already we have gone through this definition. Total cost throughout the life, including planning, designing, developing, operating, maintaining, and any other cost directly attributed to owning or using the asset. Okay, so this particular cost starts from the planning point of view, then designing, developing, everything, operating, maintaining. So all these costs are called as life cycle cost. Product life cycle costing is a system that tracks and accumulates all cost and revenue attribute between the cost object from the invention to its abandonment. Means generally life cycle cost we can say from starting point to ending point. Starting point means invention and abandonment means at end. Okay, so that finish of that particular project. So whatever cost between these 2 points are there, that is starting point to ending point, including revenue, from that anything is revenue, anything is generated, then that may be minus, and all these costs are considered as a life cycle cost. So if you look at to this project life cycle cost, so we'll go to little bit detail how this cost is calculated or what are the stages. By using LCC, total cost of the product can be calculated over the total span of product life cycle. Okay, so you can calculate the total cost of the product over total span of the life, product life. So suppose for example, if you have purchased a bike two-wheeler, maybe say cost of 70,000 rupees. Okay, so 70,000 is your non-recurring cost. Okay, 70,000 is non-recurring cost. If we take the example, 70,000 is non-recurring cost. Then you may use it for 10 years, suppose. Okay, so 10 years. During this particular 10 years, per year that bike requires petrol of rupees, I can say 20,000 rupees. Okay, 20,000 rupees petrol or 24,000 rupees petrol per month. Sorry, per year. Per month, 2,000 rupees petrol is required for that bike, suppose. 24,000 petrol per year into 10 years, 2,40,000. It may consider, let's consider that every year 6,000 rupees is required for maintenance. Whatever that oiling, oil change, or whatever maybe maintenance is there, or servicing of that bike may be there. For that, it may require suppose 6,000 rupees per year. Okay, you are doing 4 times maintenance per time. You are going for 1,500 rupees maintenance. So yearly 4 times maintenance, that indicate 6,000 rupees. So 6,000 rupees per year maintenance. So 10-year maintenance is 60,000. So what is the cost of that LCC? So what is the cost? Initial 70,000, that is purchase cost. Then 2,40,000 rupees petrol cost, and 60,000 rupees the initial cost. Sorry, maintenance cost. 60,000 is the maintenance cost. So what is the total cost will be there? 70 plus 240 plus 60. It gives me 3,70,000. So for 10 years span, okay, so that is what I want to explain. So 10 years span of product life, that is bike life, the total cost is 3,70,000. Means every year 37,000 is the cost of that bike. Okay, that cost LCC. If you put these values in previous formula, what is that previous formula? LCC is equal to C plus PV recurring. Is it right? What is meant by PV recurring? What are the recurring costs? 240 and 60. That maintenance and petrol cost. These are my recurring costs. Every time you require to fill it. So that 3 lakh rupees. So 10 plus 3 lakh minus what is the cost of that bike after 10 years. You have purchased at 70,000. So after 10 years you might be sell it at 20,000. So minus 20,000. So 10 plus 240, sorry, 3 lakh minus 20. So this gives me 290. Okay, so here I have just not calculated initial cost. But if you take that initial cost, your cost will be 370. Okay, so these two things are very, very important, and that's why the LCC capital asset, or whatever the initial cost is there or capital asset is there, it is categorized into two parts, that is initial cost and operation and maintenance cost. Okay, so what comes under this initial cost? Initial cost means design and development cost, investment or on product, or cost of equipment, installation cost, etc. So already we have discussed this part. So design and development, you are making expenses on that design part, development part. So some redesigning part is there. You are providing some fees to some design person. You are providing certain amount to developer team. So that design and development cost will be there. Investment on product. Investment on product means you have purchased raw material. Then for that processing of raw material, you have purchased some equipment. So cost of equipment is also there. Okay, some installation cost may be required. So big machines, it is required. Then installation cost may be different. Certain tools may be required for that machine. So all these costs are called as initial cost. Then operation and maintenance cost. Here first part is come as a labor cost. What is that labor cost? What is that labor cost? Per month you are giving salary, per month or per week you are giving salary. So that salary will be included. That energy cost, per day you are using some electricity. So every month you are getting certain electricity bill. Okay, so that electricity cost is also comes under this energy cost. Spare and maintenance cost. So certain part is get damaged. After 1 week you are going for replacing that part, or at the time of purchasing, instead of you are purchasing one, you are purchasing two parts, etc. So that spare and maintenance cost may be there. Raw material cost, develop that product, whatever the raw material is required, so that raw material cost will be there. Okay, so these are the operation and maintenance cost, whatever is there. These are recurring costs. Okay, these are we are expending, or we are making expenses every certain period of time. So labor cost, if you take the example, per month you are giving labor salary, so that per month labor cost will be there. Energy cost, per month you are paying the electricity bill, so that energy cost is also for per month. Spare and maintenance cost, it may be required once in a 6 month or once in a 3 month. Okay, or as per the requirement of the maintenance. Raw material cost, whenever required, raw material is feeling short, we require to purchase it. So these costs are recurring costs. That means these you are required to make the expenditure on these things after certain time of. Okay, initial cost, design and development cost. Once your design is ready as per your specification, as per your drawing, or whatever the drawing is there as per your requirement, once that drawing is ready, that design is ready, you are not going to pay more to that particular person. You are going to pay only one time. Okay, suppose you are to require to develop some 3D model or something like that. The development team may be working on that. So once the 3D model or whatever the model is required, once it is get generated, you are paying only once to them, that development team. You are not paying every month or every 15 days. Okay, investment and product or cost of equipment. Once you purchase that equipment, it is over. Further part on that equipment is labor and maintenance cost. Installation cost. You are not calling that installation team every now and then. You are just making installation once at the time of only installation only. Okay, so once installation cost is given, so initial cost is given only once, and operating and maintenance cost, these are giving repeatedly. Okay, this is the category of capital cost or capital asset. Then if you look at a little bit down backward side, if you look at the history of product life cycle cost, this concept was popular in 1960s. PLC was used by United States Defense Agency as an instrument to improve the cost effectiveness of equipment procurement. Okay, so what is meant by this? This is the PLC was one instrument or one tool which is used by initially by United States Defense Agency, and the purpose of that is to improve the cost effectiveness. In 1996, International Electrotechnical Commission published the standard, that IEC 60300, how to carry out life cycle costing in an organization. Okay, so that standard document is there. and it is the standard was revised in July 2004. So how to carry out the life cycle costing in an organization? Because if you look at to your point of view, construction building, then construction building is also having certain lifespan. Once you construct the building, it may be utilized or it may be having a license of 50 years or 100 years. Is it right? And after that 100 years, the maintenance or demolishing is required. Is it right? So that whatever that span is there, that is called life cycle span. And during that particular span, whatever the cost is used for that building, construction cost is there, land purchase cost is there, then maintenance cost is there. If you are putting some watchman, etc., then watchman cost is there, electricity is there. All cost will be included in that. And if you look at to little bit good way, what are the example we have taken as a bike example, the cost of the bike is 70,000, but petrol cost is 2,40,000 for 10 years. Is it right? So as time span goes, as times pass, okay, the recurring cost of that particular thing will be increasing. And a certain time it came where the recurring cost or maintenance cost is much more than its resale value. And that time we have to take care that, we have to decide that whether we should use that equipment or we should demolish that equipment, we should throw out that equipment and purchase new one. Okay, so like this, the things are there. So this life cycle cost has been started from 1960s, and generally it is what are the standards are there? These are developed in 1996, and it is revised again in 2004. So this is a little bit, I can say, there are 4 stages in the life cycle cost, and how the sales cost profit or objectives are changing. Okay, so there are 4 stages of life cycle. Like every product life cycle may be there, or project life cycle may be there. There are 4 main stages are there. That is the introduction, then growth, maturity, and decline. If you look at the human life, the human life is also gone through these 4 stages. Introduction, that means first 10 years of our life, when we are introducing many things to ourselves, new to the world. Then growth stage, then from 11 to, I can say, 30, up to 30, 25 years or 30 years, our growth is there. We are learning many more things, our growth is there. Then maturity, from 30 to, I can say, 60 years, up to 60 years, that maturity stage is there. We are handling many responsibilities, we are behaving like mature person. And then decline, after 60 years, our physical fitness is going to be declined, or many things may be happen, earning was stopped, or pension is there, like this. And slowly we are moving to the final part of the life, that is death. That is nothing but demolition. Okay, so similarly, if you consider any project, introduction, that initial part of that particular project or product. Then growth, that increasing rapidly, that product or services, whatever may be. Maturity, at one point it is at highest point of the particular graph. If I can put the graph, it is the highest stage. Okay, and decline. So after that, the demand is going down. So if you take any example of these products, any product, then this is gone for this way. If you take the example of color TV, telephone, mobile, bike, building, house, everywhere these things are there. Okay, so this is, we can say, the 4 stages of the life cycle. So these 4 stages were compared based on the sales cost, profit and objective. Okay, so at initial condition, that at initial point or at initial phase, introductory phase, what is the sales condition? Sale is very low. Just imagine you have started one project of suppose that building, that residential flat system. At initial condition, when you open the project, you giving the advertisement in newspaper and whatnot. At initial level, the sales are low, bookings are low. Is it right? Because nothing is there on the site and nothing is there. Then, if you take the only sales point of view, then after certain time, when that growth is there, first floor is completed, second floor is completed, third floor is about to complete, then rapidly rising the sales. Is it right? So sales are rising, many more flats are booking, etc. Maturity. Once your building is ready possession condition, whatever the remaining flats are there, these are immediately sales. And decline. Once flats are sold, or suppose one or two flats are remaining, and that particular time of that particular building is gone after 4 or 5 years, sales decline. That 1-2 flat may remain, that may be sold out in particular period or not. This is the particular condition about sales. Then if you look at to the cost point of view, at introduction condition, at initial level, the builder put or the cost of that particular product is very high because it is new to the market. If you take the example, same example, at initial the cost of per feet for that flat maybe 3,000, 3,500, 4,000 rupees like this. But as growth stage is coming and you are finding less booking, you are reducing that cost. If it is initial 3,500, you are selling that particular cost at maybe 3,200 rupees or 3,000 rupees per square feet. At maturity level, low cost. Again, if few are remaining, then you can sell it out on 270, 200, 2,700 rupees or 2,800 rupees cost. And suppose one or two flats are remaining. Suppose your building is of containing 100 flats, 98 flats are booked or sell out, only 2 are remaining. And after 2 years, somebody came to you, and if he asks you what is the cost of that flat, you can say that let me give you 2,000 rupees per square foot. That time cost is low. So cost look point of view, highest to low. Sales point of view, low to high and high to again low. Then profit. At initial level, if you look at the profit point of view, at initial level, there are very less profit is there. Okay, because whatever money is there, you require it for that utilization of that particular building construction, etc. Growth stage, profit is increased. Maturity stage, maximize profit. Whatever the plots are selling, that money is in our pocket only. Okay, and as decline stage started, the profit is also less. Okay, so like this, the profit curve is there. Objective. If you look at to the objective point, at initial level, create product awareness and trial offer as a basic product. That you are making marketing. We have started this particular plant. We have started this particular project. Book at this particular location. It is good location and whatnot. Your advertising is good. So objective is that create product. You should reach to the maximum people, and you should provide some offer about your project. At growth stage, yes, you are in the good position. Maximum customers are coming to you, and you are having more sale at that time. Maturity side, already you have sell some flats. Your market is good. If 100 flats are there, then 100 flats are nearly sold out, 98 flats. Okay, so more customers are attracted to you. You are having good market share. You are having name and frame in the market and all whatnot. And at end, reduce expenditure and decline stage. What is you are doing? You are reducing the expenditure. Suppose one of the particular person came to you after 1.5 years, give me that flat. You are just giving just cleaning the flat and you are handovering. You are not giving the paint, go for coloring and other things. So at that time you are reducing the your expenditure. So these 4 points, if you look at to the life cycle stages, these are behaving differently.